You are gonna have to push, 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 because they said you can't do it. They said you don't have what it takes to make the investments. They said you don't have what it takes to lose the weight. They say you don't have what it takes to hang on to your marriage. Everybody has been counted out. Everybody has been doubted. The underdog is not a person who doesn't feel pain, doubt, and fear. The underdog is a person that turns that pain, that doubt, that fear into their fuel. That's everything that you need.
Let yourself go. Fall free into it. Step into it. You are worthy. Come on. Your gait, your presence, your authenticity. Come on, you're special.
It is time to stop tiptoeing, stop straddling the fence, stop dating the idea that you can be successful, and it's time to get married to it. Get married to it, get committed, get all in. You keep dating it, you keep thinking about it, you keep talking about it. It is possible to fully commit yourself to something. It is possible to accomplish what you see in your head, to hold it in your hand. It is possible. The question is, can you give your all? If you want breakthrough, then this must be your moment of release. When you say, Marcus, how do I release? I need to acknowledge what happened to me. I need to acknowledge what they did, what they said, what they did not do, how they lied, how they punctured, how they fractured, how they stepped and stomped on the hope that was in me, how they let me down, how now I've got diminished expectations, but now I'm gonna release it. I want this thing off my back and out of my system, purged from my heart. I don't want to think about it anymore. One day I just woke up and I told myself I would never be broke or broken again. I had enough. I wanted to make sure my mother was good for the rest of her life. I wanted to make sure my wife didn't have to work another day in her life. I wanted to make sure I could sow into my family, that I could advance the human race forward. Why am I here? And the moment that I discovered that, everything began to change. It's time. It's time to break through the disempowering, limited belief systems that we've carried our whole life. There is a future that I desire. I believe in the power of my future. And so if we want to step into this transformative experience, then I need to have a competitive advantage over the competition. Where you say, man, I'm in competition with nobody, just me. And I get that, and I've said that. But the truth of the matter is if you don't do something the other man is not doing, then you're gonna get knocked off. If you want longevity, if you want sustainability, if you want to scale, if you want peak performance, if you're going to do something in your bloodline, if you're going to pass something down generationally, if you're going to be a light, if you're gonna do something that's never been done, then sometimes you're gonna have to get up when you don't feel like it. I refuse to go down. I refuse to stop here. I refuse to let go. I refuse to give in. I refuse to keep living at 50%. Wake up. It is time. It is time for transformation. It is time to unlock resilience and ignite energy and vitality. This is my year that I give everything I have. You've got the strategy. You've done your homework. You've got the belief system. Now just put it in. Stop doubting yourself. You gotta learn to practice self-compassion and remember your past achievements. Everything that was hindering me, all of a sudden, wham, I hit a state of elevation. Everything that was toxic, everything that was not for me, everything that was not life-giving, I can get very clear on the future. I can get my agenda, my targets, and my aims crystallized in my head. You gotta learn how to find your validation from within, that you don't need anybody to validate you, to affirm you, to believe you. First, it starts with you. If I believe in me, then everybody else comes after that. This is the year that I get crystal clear on my values, on my parameters, on my non-negotiables. This is the year that I make an investment in myself. This is the year. This is not the year that I play around with my life. The world can wait, right? Emails can wait. Text messages can wait. The boardroom can wait. playing field can wait. The court can wait. Everything can wait. And I can get dialed in with what I've been called to do. I can get dialed in with why I'm here. What is my purpose without any outside influences or stimuli? I don't need coffee right now. I don't need alcohol. I don't need an outside stimuli to get my day jump-started. I just need to get up and get dialed in. Shake it up. Wake up early, man. Get up. If you're listening to me, get up, get up, get up, get up. It's time to go. You got work to do. Put away the devices, put away the distractions, put away the outside stimuli and the influences and all of the voices and get dialed in. If you're listening to me, let this be a moment of transformation and motivation, but let this moment not just move you, but change you to take action. If all I know is the swirl of busyness, distraction, and noise, and people and voices and devices, all of a sudden when I wake up and the world is sleeping, I get a different perspective. This is the day that you smile more. This is the day that you believe. This is the day that you see the future. This is the day that you step into hope, that you step into joy. This is the day that you repay people's rudeness with kindness. This is the day that you are not easily triggered. This is the day that you snap out of it. This is the day that you pray for your haters, that you forgive those who have wronged you. This is that day. This is the day that everything is going to change because change started with you. This is not the year that I sit and wait for destiny to hunt me down. I will hunt everything down that belongs to me. The reason why your days don't go the way you anticipate, you hoped they would go, is because you're stepping into your day without a plan. You are directionless. You are not groomed. You are not prepared. All of us has this power within us, this force of nature that we have not tapped into. There's another level. Life is lived on levels, and these levels are unlocked by taking action. My question to you is, will you take action and do something out of your paradigm? It's your time. It's your turn. The wait is over. Get up and get back to yourself. We can get so wrapped up in the swirl of busyness, distraction, and noise that we lose ourselves hanging out with status quo. Life is not just a game of attraction. It is a game of hunting. It is a game of evolving to become the best version of yourself, putting in the work. What is it that has not been attracted to you? When I understand who I am and where I am, I position myself for attraction. This ain't about the law of attraction. This is about dealing with me first and the dream that God has given me and the purpose, and everything else will be added. Be not overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. This is the year that I don't make excuses. This is the year that I embrace my non-negotiables. This is the year that if I see it in my head, I can hold it in my hand. Stop devaluing your past achievements. There are things that you have accomplished. There are things that you have overcome. People have neglected you. People have overlooked you. People have underrated you, and you overcame it. Life has hit you as hard as it could, and you're still alive, and you can hear my voice, and you're listening to me now. Don't devalue that. That is an achievement. That is a win. I know that you've got this broad stroke vision and that you see the end game, but there are things along the way that we accomplish that we cannot ignore. I am somebody. I am good enough. I am growing. I am growing wiser. I am growing stronger. There is something more. Whoever you are and wherever you are, if you can hear my voice, you made it another day. And that's something to get excited about. Even if you've lost all hope and you've lost all motivation, I need you to understand that you can recover it all right now. You may not have all the motivation. You may not have all the peace about your situation. You may not be exactly where you want to be. If you can hear my voice, you made it one more day, and that is worth something. You are a moment, you are a memory. Everybody that you encounter today, lives will be marked forever because you brought your A game. You brought everything you could to touch that life. And you may never be here again. So today, give it all you have. This is your time. Make this your moment to no longer be a prisoner of the past. Of the past. is not your prison. The past is your platform to build what it is that you were placed in this world to build. Release your brilliance. Release the idea. Step out. Launch it. Build it. Create it. Imagine it. The time is now. I want to get crystal clear on my level 1 priorities. A wise man once said that our dreams never grow wings in the stillness of the night. They take shape by the moves we make. That failure has come again and again as sure as night follows the day. But there is no wisdom in our mistakes unless we avoid repeating them. And while our future may inspire us, today will define us. This is your moment to decide. Will you continue on living the life that you have lived? Or will you unlock your greatest potential? This talk, this moment, this speech, this video is for those who are unwilling to settle for less, those who are done with just enough, those who are done with poverty and lack. You are inches away from the best life that you have ever had. Seize the opportunity. I need you to breathe. Let this thing go. Release it from your system. And remember, in this very moment, that all you have is all you need. But let's be honest, a lot of what we do is for the attention of everybody. I'm thinking to myself, when are we gonna do this thing? Because we're just called to do it. I don't need to impress you. Are we understanding this? Many of you listening to me are suffering from anxiety and stress and overwhelm. You're checked out. You're about to burn out and tap out and drop out. Some of us are not willing to acknowledge that we are depressed. And when I unpack depression, deep rest, that we are resting in a state of paralysis where we can't move, we're stuck, we're stagnant, and we're stationary. It's all because you are infected with the disease of people pleasing. Trust me, I get it. A lot of what we do is to serve people, is to help people, to empower people. I get it. But you've got to get so in love with what you've been called to do, your design, your distinctives, what sets you apart, that you'll do this thing. Even if nobody celebrates you, if nobody understands it, if nobody invests in it, if nobody sees it, if nobody wants to collaborate with you, your first year of releasing what it is that you've been called to release, or writing, or building, or creating, if it's just you, will you keep working? And this is all I want to ask you today. Will you keep working? Will you work harder? Will you work smarter? Even if nobody understands it, sees it, celebrates it, likes it, shares it, will you keep going? Today, I let the past go. Today, I'm moving on. Number one, I'm acknowledging that I've got some challenges in my present and they derive from my past. This is more than an invitation to the future. This is a command to leave your past behind. This is a charge to you in this moment to let it go. You gotta let it go. And so if you're listening to me and you're struggling with feelings of low self-esteem, if you have a hard time saying I'm no, if you're consistently the type of person that apologizes for everything you do, if you neglect your own needs or take blame for something somebody else did, if you pretend to agree with everybody to avoid conflict, then you may be infected with the disease of people pleasing. People pleasing is a type of disorder. People that want to please people, people that need attention, people that need to be supported and loved and appreciated. If you don't love you first and appreciate you first and honor the work first and believe first, nobody else is going to believe. If I want to be free in my present and in my future, I got to let it go. And so I am aware of what happened to me. I am aware of the trauma. I am aware of the betrayal. I am aware that I am downtrodden and I am battered and broken and weary and tired, and I'm stuck in a place of autopilot where I don't even know what tomorrow looks like. I'm not even free enough to dream about the future because I am so broken from my past. And so one of the next things you're going to have to do is that once you're aware of this state, that you are stuck and stationary and that you live a stagnant type of lifestyle, I'm understanding the trauma effects on my brain and how it changed my behavior. It changed my perspective. I understand what happened to me and I cannot change it, but I can change how I feel about it. I can choose to forgive. I can choose to let go. I can choose to believe. I can choose to dream. I think that it would be so beautiful, so elegant, so sophisticated, so terribly significant if we will start to create, to build, to collab, to be a life-giving force to help somebody. If I just spread my seeds and if I just water where I need to water, that harvest is gonna come. So just work harder and get out of this people-pleasing mentality. There's too many of you that are so wrapped up in agreement with people that are not serving your vision. This is my opportunity for growth, for expansion. The more I release, the more I can become. And the more I become, the more I can attract. What is it that has not been attracted to you? Here's my truth. You can listen to me or not listen to me. I'm going to release what's inside of me. I'm going to release my brilliance. I'm going to build it. I'm going to create it. I'm going to release it. I'm going to give it to the world. And so whoever's going to listen to me is going to listen to me. Whoever's going to support it will support it. Whoever's going to invest will invest. Whoever's going to hire me will hire me. But I'm not doing this thing just for the attention. Stop doing this for the collaboration. Stop doing this for the attention. Stop doing everything with a motive that's not life-giving and life-transforming. If you just want to be seen, whatever you can't let go of, whatever you can't get over, you have made it an idol. And it simply means that you love it or them more than you love yourself. The question I want to ask you is, how bad do you want your future? People that are not focused on people, but they're focused on their calling, they've got a positive self-awareness, they've got positive self-esteem, they've got powerful self-control. They walk in a measure of mastery with self-awareness, self-esteem, self-control, self-motivation, self-expectancy, self-image, self-direction, self-discipline, self-projection. Like, what do I believe? What am I expecting? Whatever it is you've been called to read or write or build or create, some of you are in the process of transforming your body. Some of you are in the process of elevating your mindset, establishing new relationships. Do this because you're called to do it, not because you need attention. Just do the work. Push harder, reach farther, run faster. If an item can be repurposed, then so can a person. Be the anomaly. Be the one who can step into a room and shift the atmosphere with a confidence and a resilience and a grit because you put the work in. When nobody was paying attention, you paid the price. Let me tell you something. Amputation without forgiveness is like a virus. Marcus, what are you saying? This means that if you try to go away, if you try to move from it, if you try to get a new area code and a new zip code and a new career, that's just busyness. That's artificial significance. You gotta forgive this person. Because going away and changing your zip code and changing your area code and trying to get a new career and marrying somebody else is not going to take the pain away because you are running from you. You gotta look in the mirror and you gotta decide, I forgive myself for the mistakes I made. I forgive the people for what they did. Everybody wants new, but don't want to become new. It's time to become new. It's your time. It's your turn to live a life of abundance in the fullness of joy and peace and fire and passion and resilience. This is your time. Make this your moment to no longer be a prisoner of the past. The past is not your prison. The past is your platform to build what it is that you were placed in this world to build. Release your brilliance. Release the idea. Step out. Launch it. Build it. Create it. Imagine it. The time is now. The truth is, some of us prefer familiar sufferings because we are afraid of the unknown. And for many of you listening to me, joy and peace and abundance in the fullness of life is so unknown. It is so uncharted that you are afraid to release. You are afraid to let go. You have unfinished business. You got work to do. Perspective is everything. Let's go. I need you to hear me loud and clear. How you see this thing is everything. You cannot change the past, but you can change your perspective about it. Your viewpoint is your advantage. Your viewpoint is what changes the game. Everybody wants increase and abundance and lifestyle change and new zip codes and new area codes, but you only read once a week and you only work out once or twice a month. And so the reason why you don't have what it is that you see, the reason why what's in your head is not in your hands, it's not your reality, it's because your perspective opposes your potential. You don't have it because you don't see the value in it. If you are going to give and grow and evolve and attain and become, everything rises and falls on your viewpoint. If you believe you've been called to be the difference maker, the game changer, the disruptor, the person that comes into a room and commands the atmosphere, if you believe you've been called to be necessary and not grossly irrelevant, then everything you do, everything you see, everything rises and falls on your perspective, your perception, your viewpoint. How do you see this thing? Show me somebody that hates to work out, and I'll show you a man that almost lost his life, and the doctor said, if you don't work out, you'll die. One sees it as cumbersome. One sees it as a problem. Another one sees it as a privilege. He sees it as his second chance, his new lease on life, that I have to work out. I get to work out. I get a chance to live a little longer. So one person sees the gym as a prison, and another person sees the gym as a passport. One man came within inches of losing his life, and another man has never come within 100 miles of losing his life, and he only works out twice a month, and somebody else works out 4 or 5 times a week. The reason why you only do it once or twice a month is because you don't see the value. You don't see the value in it. Your viewpoint is either your advantage or your assassin. Your viewpoint will either get you going or get you killed. I don't care what it is that you're trying to achieve, what you're trying to accomplish, what you're trying to give, how you're trying to evolve, what you are looking to become. Everything rises and falls on your perspective. And so if you don't start thinking right, you're not going to talk right. And if you're not talking right, you're not going to experience the world that you see in your head. I don't know who God has called you to become, but what I can tell you is if you keep seeing it the way you have seen it, you will never become it. Everybody wants next level. Everybody wants wealth and influence, and everybody wants to be this esoteric novelty. But listen to me, you will never experience any of this showing up in your next season with the same viewpoint. You gotta see this thing differently. Stop complaining about the divorce. Stop complaining about the job loss. Stop complaining about the relocation. Stop complaining about the jealousy and the envy and the backbiting and the person that gave up on you and the person that wasn't present and the person that lied to you and the person that attempted to manipulate and control. We see a storm, we see rain, and we think depression. We think I can't do anything. Instead of thinking grass can't grow without rain. Roses don't bloom without rain. Number one, there's one thing I need you to stop saying, and that is, I should do something. That perspective, that viewpoint, that ideology, that philosophy, that mindset It's gonna get you bankrupt. I should start this. I should stop that. I should forgive. I should. You don't get what you should, you get what you must have. I want you to start writing down right now. If you gotta pause the video, start writing down those things that you said you should do and change that should to must. I must work out X amount of times a week. I must forgive. I must evolve. I must become. I must retain. I must grow. I must live. I must evolve. I must go to the next level. I must live in this type of house. I must drive this type of car. I don't care how bad you think the shoes are that you are wearing. There is another man in this world who would kill to walk a mile in the pair that you wear. Marcus, what does this mean? This means that what you are complaining about, what you hate, what you can't stand, what you want to walk out of, what you want to give up on, there is somebody out there that would die to be in your position. And so here's what I need you to ask yourself. Is this problem an issue or is it an opportunity? Some of you, all you've been waiting for your whole life was an opportunity. What if losing your job was the opportunity? What if the divorce is an opportunity? What if the bankruptcy is an opportunity? What if the one you love was an opportunity for you to reconnect with somebody and forgive them for the pain that they caused you? See this thing differently. What you thought was ashes was only the material you needed to begin again. Watch me. Your perspective is everything. I need you to see the bigger picture. I need you to have a little gratitude. You need to learn how to smile. You need to work out. I know you hate the gym. I know you hate to lift weights. I know you hate cardio. I know you don't like drinking water. I know you don't like taking care of your temple. You think it's the hardest thing to do in the world to commit. But there is somebody who's in the grave today, and if they had another opportunity to live, they would enthusiastically, with great confidence and courage and consistency, do what you hate just to live a little longer. Find the positive, see the bigger picture. Guard your gratitude. The trial, the tribulation, the adversity, the giant is not your assassin. The giant is your opportunity. A lot of people see a breakup from a broken heart instead of a heart full of gratitude. Thank you for breaking up with me. Here's what you did. You opened up another opportunity for somebody else to come into my life. Thank you for firing me. You gave me an opportunity to explore entrepreneurship. Thank you for not believing in me. Because of you, I was able to reconnect with God, and He was the lifter of my head. Thank you. Thank you. I'm not bitter, I'm better. I'm not weary, I'm wiser. I'm not toxic, I'm triumphant. I see this thing differently. This season that you've entered into did not come to break you. It came to build you into the man or woman God has destined you to be. As a matter of fact, the next season, the next chapter you're about to walk into is called After This. After this, I will do what you said I could not do without you. After this, I will grow. After this, I will give. After this, I will evolve. After this, I will change everything. After this, after this, after this. I'm changing my perspective. This is not my end. This is my beginning. This is not my exodus. This is my genesis. Let's go!
Some of you don't even realize you have unfinished business. You need to go back where you left off with a new perspective. Go back to the gym. Go back to the drawing board. Go back to the business. Go back to the relationship. Go back to the burning building. You have unfinished business. All you gotta do is show up with a new game plan and a new perspective.
If you could just stop for a moment and pan the room, take a look around, you'll notice that everybody is trying to get seen by anybody. I want you to ask yourself the question, why do you do what you do? Is it to be seen? Is it to be liked? What is it that has you pushing so hard? Is it to be seen or is it to be fulfilled? Are you fighting for a moment? Or are you fighting for a purpose? I think that we shouldn't just focus on what we're doing, but we should focus on why we're doing it. Why do I care so much? Who am I trying to impress? You will discover over the course of your life that when you do this thing because you're called to do it, then you just get it done. And it doesn't matter what anybody says. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks. I'm doing this thing because I'm called to do it. Are we seeing what I'm saying? We care so much about what people think, how they feel about our actions and our motives. But let's be honest, a lot of what we do is for the attention of everybody. I'm thinking to myself, when are we going to do this thing? Because we're just called to do it. I just need you to stop and ask the question, why are you doing what you do? That's the question in this moment. I don't need to impress you. Are we understanding this? People can tell when you're not called to do something, when you're just doing it. When it's plastic, when it's fake, when it's phony, when it's unauthentic. We create for attention. We build for attention. To attract somebody for our own gain. I think that it would be so beautiful, so elegant, so sophisticated, so terribly significant if we will start to create, to build, to collab, to be a life-giving force to help somebody.
Audio Jungle.
So just work harder and get out of this people-pleasing mentality. There's too many of you that are so wrapped up in agreement with people that are not serving your vision. Many of you listening to me are suffering from anxiety and stress and overwhelm. You're checked out. You're about to burn out and tap out and drop out. It's all because you are infected with the disease of people-pleasing. Trust me, I get it. A lot of what we do is to serve people. It's to help people, to empower people. I get it. But you've got to get so in love with what you've been called to do, your design, your distinctives, what sets you apart, that you'll do this thing, even if nobody celebrates you, if nobody understands it, if nobody invests in it, if nobody sees it, if nobody wants to collaborate with you, your first year of releasing what it is that you've been called to release, or writing, or building, or creating, if it's just you, will you keep working? And this is all I want to ask you today. Will you keep working? Will you work harder? Will you work smarter? Even if nobody understands it, sees it, celebrates it, likes it, shares it, will you keep going? Are you wrapped up? Are you intoxicated? And so if you're listening to me and you're struggling with feelings of low self-esteem, if you have a hard time saying I know, if you're consistently the type of person that apologizes for everything you do, if you neglect your own needs or take blame for something somebody else did, if you pretend to agree with everybody to avoid conflict, then you may be infected with the disease of people-pleasing. People-pleasing is a type of disorder. People that want to please people. People that need attention. People that need to be supported and loved and appreciated. If you don't love you first and believe first, nobody else is going to believe. At the root of all these symptoms is this desire for attention. Here's my truth. You can listen to me or not listen to me. I'm going to release what's inside of me. I'm going to release my brilliance. I'm going to build it. I'm going to create it. I'm going to release it. I'm going to give it to the world. And so whoever's going to listen to me is going to listen to me. Whoever's going to support it will support it. Whoever's going to invest will invest. Whoever's going to hire me will hire me. But I'm not doing this thing just for the attention. Stop doing this for the collaboration. Stop doing this for the attention. Stop doing everything with a motive that's not life-giving and life-transforming. If you just want to be seen, I see people all the time. I see people all the time. You see people all the time posting, you know, posting. Look at me, look where I'm at. Why did you go on vacation so that you could get some rest, so that you could recharge, recalibrate, realign, reimagine? Or did you go on vacation so you could show off? Did you go on vacation to try to impress? Put your head down and get the job done. Not because you want attention, but because you're called to be a finisher. If we're going to break out, break free from the fetters of people pleasing, then we've got to learn how to establish some boundaries. And it's important to know our limitations, and we need to be able to communicate those limitations. That I've got some guardrails, I've got some parameters, I'm only gonna go so far. And I need to have I've got to have some goals set, I've got to have some priorities, I've got to have some goals, I've got to have some priorities established, I need to have some priorities established, I've got to have some goals set, I've got to have some positive self-talk. I need some positive self-awareness. People that are not focused on people, but they're focused on their calling, they've got a positive self-awareness, they've got positive self-esteem, they've got powerful self-control. They walk in a measure of mastery with self-awareness, self-esteem, self-control, self-motivation, self-expectancy, self-image, self-direction, self-discipline, self-projection. Like, what do I believe? What am I expecting? Whatever it is you've been called to read or write or build or create, some of you are in the process of transforming your body. Some of you are in the process of elevating your mindset, establishing new relationships. Do this because you're called to do it, not because you need attention. Just do the work. Push harder, reach farther, run faster. Be the anomaly. Be the one who can step into a room and shift the atmosphere with a confidence and a resilience and a grit because you put the work in. When nobody was paying attention, you paid the price. And it didn't matter who understood, it didn't matter who appreciated, it didn't matter who supported, liked, shared. It doesn't matter, you did it because you're called to do it. Without an award, put the work in.